need a hand?
Hello, welcome back to Ycft. Today we are talking about House of Wax, the 2005 remake, which barely resembles the Vincent Price movie of the same name, which in itself was a remake of another film. It's a remake in name only. I think the only other thing that links is that one of the bad guys is called Vincent.
Yes, that's it. And there's a House of Wax.
And there is a literal House of Wax. This is a Dark Castle Productions, one of their non-William Castle adaptations. They came out about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is, man, now this, I actually only watched this film for the first time this year. I must say, I now think it is my favourite Dark Castle movie. I think since, I can't remember, when was the last Dark Castle one we did? Was it Ghost Ship?
Yes, Ghost Ship. We did that after Gothica. Yeah.
Yeah. I think not too long after doing that, or maybe around that time, we went to an independent cinema near us and watched a Dark Castle double bill of 13 Ghosts and Ghost Ship.
It was so good.
That was a really good night. And not long after that, I think I was in the mood for some more Dark Castle, so we watched House of Wax.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed. And this film does not have if you look critically, does not have the best reputation.
28% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Criminal. But the more I've looked into it, read Reddit threads, seen other reviews, this is actually a pretty good film.
Yeah.
With all the flaws that it has as well. Like, it falls into a lot of early issues that a lot of mid-2000s films have. In particular, it was absolutely trying to capitalise. Even though they had been trying to get a remake of House of Wax off the ground for a while. It very much was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 that helped propel it, because everyone was trying to do remakes.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like, the way the film looks, the violence of a lot of the deaths. It very much does feel like it's inspired by it. I actually think it has a lot in common with Wrong Turn as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So we have a group of characters that are on the way to a location, and due to road closures and traffic, are forced to a more secluded area. The beginnings of these films sound very, very similar, don't they?
Yes.
But in this film, they're on the way to a football game. Do you want to list off some characters?
So, we have twins, Carly and Nick. Carly is played by Alicia Cuthbert, and Nick is played by Chad Michael Murray.
Was he from, One Tree Hill or something like that?
I think he was on One Tree Hill. I knew him primarily from Cinderella Story. He was in Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
As well. So he did a lot of rom-commy things. So we have Nick and Carly, who have a weird sibling relationship.
A big thing about this film is good twin, bad twin. They reference studies where apparently, if one twin chooses, one twin will inevitably choose their path, which means that the other one is destined to go down the other.
You're the good twin. I'm the evil one.
Chad's character Nick, he's the bad boy of the family. He keeps getting arrested.
Yeah, for some reason is tagging along on this road trip.
Yeah.
You get caught for stealing a car and it's my fault. You're resisting arrest and it's the cops' fault. Look, get kicked off the football team, it's the coach's fault. Mom and Dad kick you out of the house, it's their fault.
With them is Carly's boyfriend,
Wade.
What an American early 2000s American name, Wade.
Yeah.
Played by
the alarmingly tall
Jared Padalecki.
Yeah. So
this would have came out the same year as Supernatural. So he would have filmed it about a year before. So he was on the cusp of blowing up. And this is the second horror remake that he's been a part of. Still the other one being Friday the 13th in 2009. I always like Jared Padalecki whenever I see him in things. And what happens to his character throughout this film is so cruel.
We'll get there.
We will get there, but I've never felt so sorry for a character.
We will set some time aside for Wade. Because, justice for Wade.
So we have two more male characters.
Yeah. There's Dalton, who's Chad Michael Murray's friend with the cap. And then we've got Paige, who is Carly's best friend, played by someone I think called Paris Hilton. Paige has a boyfriend whose name I didn't write down because he's
such a non-character. But yeah, the big push of this film was that Paris Hilton was in it.
What? Paris Hilton is in this movie?
I mean, kind of. Right.
She's undeniably in it, yes.
The two other male characters outside of Nick and Wade are just kind of cannon fodder and a bit of comedic relief. Paris Hilton was the first person to sign on to this film. Now,
She was.
obviously, she was. I think it's kind of accepted now that Paris Hilton is actually a very smart businesswoman. Everything in her career, except maybe the sex tape, was planned. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the stuff that she was doing around this time was garnering a lot of attention and did propel her to immense fame. So I feel like this was also a very calculated thing. So she was the first actress to sign on. The cast was kind of built around her. Alicia Cuthbert, who's also actually blonde in real life, they changed her character to be like a brunette just so that we didn't have two blondes there to, compete with Paris Hilton. Mm-hmm. And the whole marketing around this film was "See Paris Die." She's on the poster as well, and all coated in wax, which you'll never see in this film. But that is such smart marketing. And there were T-shirts, weren't there? There's so many promotional pictures of her posing with posters saying "See Paris Die."
She thoroughly was on board with it, and it was something of a genius move from the producers.
Yeah, I actually really do think it was.
Yeah.
And her character is kind of fine. I think they also kind of backed themselves into a corner because it meant you couldn't have her be the lead of the film because the leads often survive or seemingly killed out at the very end. But if you're going to put a big part of your marketing around this infamous celebrity dying, she has to be relegated to a supporting cast, even though she was probably the most expensive cast member.
Undoubtedly.
And we'll get to her death, because it is very famous.
We'll get to all of them.
We'll get to all of them. I think her performance had a lot of criticism. I think she's perfectly fine in the role that she's playing.
I don't understand how you can single her out for criticism, because she is fine.
She's absolutely...
She services the character perfectly well. I have seen so many worse performances.
She would appear on Supernatural with Jared in a House of Wax, like, shapeshiftery themed episode of Supernatural.
I hate to break it to you, sister, but you can't eat me. See, I'm not a Paris Hilton BFF. I've never even seen House of Wax.
No, but I can totally read your mind, Dean.
Not a word.
Dude, you just got wailed on by Paris Hilton.
I really, really liked that. And apparently the whole cast had a really good time working on this. Although it was a very dangerous shoot.
Aside from that one day.
Aside from, yeah, which we will get to. But
yeah.
She was interviewed about it earlier this year. Yeah,
because of the anniversary.
I think she was on the red carpet for something, and they were asking her about Katy Perry going to space for some reason. Then asked, it's been 25 years since House of Wax came out. Like, what are your feelings for it? It was a tough shoot, but it was so much fun. Like, I loved working with everybody. And they went, obviously your death scene is very good. So yeah, people still ask me about that death scene. It's like all these years later, people still ask me about it and say, it's iconic. And she said that she feels incredibly proud about working on this film. And I'm like, I'm glad. I'm glad that that's how she looks back on this project.
I'm very glad to hear
because this film did not do well.
No.
It eventually made its money back with rentals, but at the time it was a bit of a box office flop. It was Dark Castle's most expensive movie at like $40 million.
You sort of touched on it at the beginning. It has had a very interesting trajectory in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Because, when it was released, it was slammed by critics. Then in the years that went by, I feel like it kind of became a sort of a guilty pleasure movie for people. Yeah. Then at some point, it became a cult film.
Yeah.
And now I think we're at that stage where people are like, this is just a really good film.
Yeah.
It's had a weird sort of...
But also, you look at the casting,
journey.
Paris Hilton aside, what was Alicia known for? She was on a TV show as well.
I don't know.
I can't... See, Jared was on Gilmore Girls. They picked a lot of actors that...
People from pop culture at the time.
People from pop culture. And obviously Dark Shadows, a part of their whole thing was that they were going to cast good actors, well-known actors in these moderately budgeted horror films.
Yeah.
Which probably did end up being at their detriment because it did up their budgets quite a bit.
I think you said Dark Shadows instead
Dark
of
Shadows.
Castle.
We were watching Dark Shadows last night.
I think you did.
Dark Castle, Dark Pictures, Dark Pictures is gaming. We're 3 videos in today, yeah. It's part of Dark Castle's... It probably could have been part of like the downfall of them was not essentially having a big enough profit margin with the type of films that they were making.
Yeah.
But they are a bit of a time capsule.
And I'll give it to Dark Castle. We've spoken about this with Ghost Ship and Gothica, and we've not done 13 Ghosts, but when you watch any of these, especially like the earlier Dark Castle movies, you cannot deny that they go hard on the production design.
Same with this movie.
It's no different.
Weirdly, it's probably tamer production-wise than the other movies.
But it's still something to marvel at. I mean, the actual town of Ambrose, where... Well, should we get into the plot first before we
I realised
dissect,
we
specifics?
stopped at characters there. So they camp overnight. There's a truck visits them in the night, freaks them out, disappears. They wake up the next day and the fan belt has snapped
Yes.
in Wade's car.
Wade and Carly says, right, we'll fix the car and we'll meet you guys
Yeah.
there.
This is after finding a pit of roadkill. So they hitch a ride with a creepy bystander
Who basically is out of Wrong Turn, like, let's be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
It's kind of like the Monday version of Crazy Ralph from Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Again, really like all these scenes. Like they see a hand coming out of it and they're like, oh my god, do you not see that? And it's a mannequin
Yeah.
hand.
Anyone need a hand? I'm just fooling. It's not real, see?
This is probably the first moment where I think like Nick and Carly's relationship is... I don't think it's the way they're written. I just think the actors have too much chemistry.
So
I think realistically they should swap Nick, because he takes his shirt off to give it to her because it's all like covered in like blood and stuff from this pit, and it just comes across as really weird that the brother would just strip his shirt off to give it to his sister. I think it's, with any other actors, it wouldn't be a problem, but I think it's because these two have a weird chemistry.
there's a lot of like interesting camera decisions that the film makes with them. So bearing in mind that they are twins, they are siblings, biological twins, and there's a lot of lingering looks between them, like a lot of, you know, what...
I think it's meant to play as concern.
It's concern, and there's tension, like, you know, clearly, like we said at the beginning, he's the bad twin and she's the good twin, so we know like there's a bit of a history there. They're not really getting on, a bit of a fractious relationship, but it does come across like they want to bang each other's brains out. Unfortunately, that's the vibe I got, and it was so strong. I looked into it, and like everyone has picked up on it. Like people have said, it's like a strange lovers reconnecting vibes.
Yeah,
And
really
it is.
weird.
It absolutely is. But I also kind of like that they are. It sort of like almost touches on romantic, but we don't. It never is.
Yeah.
It never actually is. But I do think, you know, she has a lot more chemistry with Chad Michael Murray than she does with Jared Padalecki.
Yeah, should they have swapped those actors around?
I kind of like the fact that he's her brother. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do really like Jared as Wade.
Poor Wade.
Poor Wade.
So anyway,
So they get to Ambrose and the town's pretty much abandoned.
Wade, sorry, I think I said Nick, but Wade and Carly go to the town of Ambrose to try and fix the car.
You know, they search through the town to try and find some help. They hear something going on in the church, not realizing it's a funeral. The guy comes out. What's the name of the guy again? I can't remember.
Oh, the main guy.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, because his brother's called Vincent. Is it
Yeah.
Bo?
Bo. What's the name of the actor?
Brian Van Holt.
I think he's actually excellent in this.
He's very good. Yeah.
He plays both roles of Bo and Vincent.
Vincent, who unfortunately looks like Tommy Wiseau.
He does look like Tommy Wiseau.
Alarmingly.
Spoilers. Bo is the bad guy. Yeah. It's pretty clear. So Bo and Vincent were conjoined twins, separated at birth. So Vincent is very disfigured and wears a mask. Bo is the
normal looking
twin.
But the bad twin.
We see weird flashbacks to their childhood. So Bo runs, tells them that he runs the mechanics, the garage, and if they go like, look, let me finish up here at this funeral. I'll meet you at the shop and sort you out a fan belt. Mm-hmm. They go there. He doesn't quite have the size that they need, so he agrees to take them up to the house where he just happens to have the perfect size fan belt needed.
Yeah.
For this car.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when everything goes to shit.
Like, why don't we head up to the house and get the one you need? It's only a couple blocks.
Yeah, all right.
You keep fan belts at your house?
Yeah. I mean, I love the sequence of when Wade and Carly first arrive at the town, because, it's kind of quiet, but there are signs of life. It's like...
People twitching in the curtains, there's some dogs in the window.
There's a pet store, there's,
Let's also appreciate, this was all a set.
All a set.
And it looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's so ambitious. And they visit the famed House of Wax.
Yeah, because they've got time to kill.
And it's closed, but it's open. And they go in there, and this is an amazing piece of production design, because in this world, it's meant to be all made of wax. Like,
and the building itself is made of wax.
Yeah, we see a lot of artwork by this Vincent. We see a lot of characters. Wade points out, it's like, aren't they supposed to be based on famous people?
Yeah.
Like a Madame Tussauds, but they're all just regular people.
I love that moment.
Yeah.
Because instantly something's wrong.
Something's up. Because it's creepy.
Yeah.
When you walk through it, but everything looks so real.
Who are these people supposed to be?
I don't know.
Aren't there supposed to be famous people in a wax museum?
The production design did some amazing actual wax work. I think it's a lot of like built sets with actual wax over the top of it, which must have been a nightmare to work with, and especially later on in the film, this must have been a messy film to work on. Well, they're exploring, and there's the amazing, like, it looks so real.
Yeah, scarily real.
Scarily real, and there's signs of something's not quite right. Like Carly she's looking in a mirror and sees a weird face wearing a mask in the window.
She sees Tommy Wiseau.
Tommy Wiseau. But I do really like that moment.
It's really, really good. Again, it's that moment because you're thinking it, but it's when Wade articulates it. He's like, "Shouldn't these be famous people? But they're just ordinary wax figures." And I just really like it. There's something so eerie about it. Yeah, it's very, very well done. I love the introduction to the wax museum.
Yeah. So they get to the house. Carly decides to wait in Beau's car.
Yeah.
Wade wants to use the bathroom.
Yeah. It's the beginning of the end.
This kind of seals his fate. And this is when we see... This is a character... You'll be hard-stretched to find a character you feel sorry for more than Jared Padalecki's Wade.
Yeah.
And both times I've watched this movie twice this year now, and I'm like, I feel devastated for everything that this character goes through. It's horrible. She kind of has a bit of an explore.
Wanders around the house.
Yeah, finds a... I think the dad must have been a dentist.
Right.
Beau and Vincent. And the lights go out. He's like, oh, still in here. He's locked in. You see a figure. Comes up from the ground. Cuts his Achilles heel. That instantly just... Oh,
yeah.
It's like, you've seen Troy, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know when like they shoot through Achilles' heel?
Yeah.
Achilles' heel.
Yes.
That moment always just like, oh.
I think with this as well, it's the sound of the
It's the
slice.
sound of it. The idea, the thought of your Achilles' heel like snapping. I know we're being crazy, but like it's something that makes me really, really uncomfortable. So he falls like
he's down.
He's he's bleeding everywhere. He's trying his best to protect himself, but he can't stand at this point. And oh god, even thinking about it sends shivers through me.
That alone is like
a horrible way to go.
It's just the start. It's just the start. I literally I have a note here. I don't know if you can read it. Poor Jared Padalecki.
Poor Jared Padalecki. So he ends up unconscious.
Yeah. And
Vincent takes him downstairs. So he's got this like underground lab area.
Yeah.
Where Vincent kind of lives, like underneath the house, and we see this is really kind of early on in the film. We see what
it's very early on
happened, and it starts to make you think in the broader thing of like all the wax figures that we've seen.
Oh shit!
Injects him,
some kind of paralytic.
Yeah,
conscious.
He sews up all his wounds, waxes off his eyebrows and any facial hair. Which that alone, I'm like, oh, I've waxed my eyebrows before. It hurts. Waxed my nose once. That was not fun.
Nope.
So I feel right now. I'm like I feel everything that he's going through. He's placed in a chair and waxes.
Bearing in mind, he is awake.
He is alive during this.
All of this. He's paralyzed. He can't do anything. He can't scream.
All you can do is move his eyes.
He can just move his eyes, and he cries.
He's crying,
and that gets me. Yeah. You just see like a few tears going down his face.
Also, like, he's been covered in hot wax. That was hurt.
It's basically he's trapped inside his own body, and that is nightmarish enough. The thought of it, to be awake throughout all of that is.
Yeah, and I don't think he realised he was going to have to actually have wax poured on. Like,
oh yeah, we found out he actually had to like go through it.
He actually had to go through a lot of it.
Yeah.
Something I'm going to praise this film for, which, as someone who's usually a staunch defender of visual effects and CGI, being the field that I work in, the choice to go practical a lot of this really does benefit him. They use a lot of VFX later on in the film to amplify certain bits, but there is a tangibleness to everything in this film, which I think watching it 20 years later actually still makes the film stand up really, really well. But that is just the start of what we see Paul Wade go through here, and it's
such a long drawn out process.
It is. But it's like, right, we now know the stakes here.
Yeah.
We now know any wax model we've seen is actually a person.
Yeah, that has gone through something.
And that they were alive when it happened.
So they've died, presumably, of starvation, of dehydration.
Yeah. We'll come back to Wade
We will revisit Wade, because it's not the end just yet.
in a bit. Because Carly then starts getting suspicious.
Yeah.
Because she realises that the truck that she's in is the truck that visited them
them.
in the night.
So she does everything right here. She puts up a hell of a fight with
Tries
Bo.
to ring her friends.
Yeah, a fight ensues. Bo does eventually get the upper hand,
Yeah.
captures her,
And then
tortures her
tortures her. Glues her mouth.
with super glue.
Yeah, which they actually did. Because I think they tried it just with like a sticky substance. And
It
it
kept
kept peeling off. It wasn't working. So they said that I think it was her idea was just use super glue. Just glue it.
I can't imagine she said use actual super glue. I'm sure it was some kind of like adhesive glue.
Yeah.
Probably not super, because that, I wouldn't trust that.
So the rest of them, they've come back at this point because they got stuck in traffic. They couldn't get to the football game, so they went back to the campsite.
Now they're trying to find Carly and Wade.
Nick and Dalton go looking for them.
Yeah. Nick ends up at the mechanics, meets Bo. Bo says, "Oh, I've not seen anyone here today."
Not seen anyone.
Carly she's unbound herself, and like, this is, you were saying the Achilles heel scene gets you.
Yeah.
This is the bit that gets me. So she manages to like.
She can't scream because her mouth's
Can't
glued
scream
shut.
because her mouth's good, but she can hear her brother and Bo talking from outside. So she puts her hands up through the grates, hoping that Nick will see her. And unfortunately, it's Bo that sees her, so he just very quickly goes over to the grate and then cuts off the top of her fingertip. And it's so well done. It's so realistic. And she can't scream. So what she has to do is she basically like uses the blood from her finger essentially to like lube her mouth. So the blood softens the glue, like
So she can tear her mouth apart.
Tears her mouth apart and then screams the house down. And that obviously, Nick gets the upper hand on Bo. He manages to lock him out of the mechanics. He's reunited with his sister. And like the pace like picks up very quickly in this movie.
Dalton at this point has went up to the house.
Yeah.
To look for them, and
let's cut to Dalton, who's exploring the House of Wax, shall we?
Yeah, he goes to explore the house. Yeah, he doesn't go up to the house. He goes to the House of Wax, and he finds Wade sat at the piano.
Yeah.
Which, because we see him playing, he briefly plays the piano earlier. So
well, Dalton genuinely thinks Wade is just sitting there. He's like,
yeah.
Wade, what are you doing?
Yeah, and he like pushes onto his cheek, and the wax starts to move, and what makes him jump is his eyes move. And this is what I mean, like the great blend of VFX and practical. Because I think the way looking at that, I'm like, that doesn't look like a guy in makeup.
No.
To me, but the eyes are moving, so I think they've digitally added his eyes.
Interesting.
Back on there. That's how I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the easiest way of doing it. Because I think if you were to build up all that wax around him, I think it would look too thick. But he looks like all properly proportioned.
Yeah.
And especially with what comes next, I think that's the smartest way they could do it. You can't do anything but move his eyes.
Yeah.
So what does Dalton do? I'm actually gonna quote. We've looked at this clip. We specifically looked at this clip on YouTube to see people's comments when we first watched the film together.
That's brilliant.
And the first one was, with friends like Dalton, who needs enemies? So he goes to try and peel wax. Oh, I'll get you out of there, and it peels.
Dalton...
It peels the skin straight off.
I'm gonna get you out of this. Oh.
To blood and bone. But Dalton, being the really good friend that he is, doesn't just stop there.
He keeps going.
Proceeds to then peel off half of Wade's face.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
For no apparent reason. And then poor Wade, you get another single tear just streaming down his face. Like, what the fuck is it? What are you doing? It gets me every single time. Like, it's so traumatic, but it's also so funny at the same time. There is no reason why Dalton would continue to just peel off his friend's face. And yet that comment just
absolutely
broke me. Broke me. It was so brilliant, and loads of other people picked up on it as well. Like, why?
Why would you keep going?
I think there's a moment where Wade, like, his eyes just kind of like roll to the back of his head. I think that's him just out. Like, he's done. He's checked out at this point. Dalton is then killed by Vincent. And I guess Another comment I saw that really made me chuckle as well. Like, you know, what happened to Wave is traumatic, but consider this from Vincent's point of view. He's just worked really hard on creating this new Wade wax figure, and now this
record time.
This dickhead has just come along and ruined it. So
he ends up down in the tunnels, and Garden shears his head off.
Yeah,
and he gets waxed.
He also gets waxed. There's a nice little moment as well with the decapitated head where the eyes like.
Oh, and that's definitely another digital thing they added on. Yeah, the eye work that they've done on this really does help enhance these moments. But yeah, poor Wade, man.
Poor Wade. That is the end.
This
of
is
Wade.
like went to very high up on my list of ways I do not want to die.
Yeah, I would not like to be waxed alive, and then basically just be trapped inside my own body for God knows how long, and then eventually just die of like pain and starvation.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like that.
Carly and Nick are now looking through the town. It's that realization that everyone in the town is waxed. When you raise the woman opening the curtain,
it's an
waxed.
animatronic, yeah.
The dogs in the window, fake. Everyone in the
funeral.
church is waxed. There's a tape recorder going with. I think it's Vincent and Beau's actual mother in a coffin.
Can I just say, like, the first... So I watched this movie years ago, like, probably not long after it first came out. Sorry, Mum. This was not a film she wanted me to watch. But I did watch it when I was quite young, and I couldn't remember a lot of it, just like the key bits. Watching it the first time again after so many years, the revelation that the townspeople are waxed, when you then retrospectively think back to how it was all edited, just like little glimpses of people, like glimpses
really
of
well
movements,
put together.
It's actually very well put together. Yeah, it's like the scene where they first burst into the funeral, and like the camera pans to the priest. And the priest is looking in a way that it just kind of makes it appear like he's looked up from his book. It's so well done, like the trickery of it. Yeah.
The bad guy's plot is Beau has convinced his brother to continue the work that his mother started, and is to create a town where he can be accepted. You see later in the film, he's horribly disfigured from the separation. Essentially, he is the good twin. He has just been manipulated by Beau. So they have full control of this town. Like, the circuit boards are underneath their house. They're making it how they want it. And this town has been abandoned for a long time because of the building of like a new interstate. Like, there's just nothing that goes through this town. The police have no idea what's going on here.
Yeah, it's literally not even on the map anymore.
It's so creative. And Beau ends up chasing Nick and Carly into a theatre where I can't remember the movie that's playing, but they just kind of hide amongst amongst the wax figures.
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane is the movie that he plays.
Ends in a bit of a shootout, and you start shooting some of the wax models, and all you see is like the decayed
skin,
the decayed people underneath the wax when they're getting blown apart. They get the upper hand on him. Nick shoots him with some crossbow bolts. Mm-hmm. Probably could have finished him off in that moment. They have the perfect opportunity, but you know, this is a mid-2000s horror movie.
Yeah,
smart decisions aren't always par for the course.
But they've been smart thus far, so I can forgive them.
So they're now going to head up to the house because they're looking for Wade and Dalton. Mm-hmm. This is where you find out a bit more backstory about the characters, see a bit more of Vincent. You see them together, and there must have been a stunt. I think there was a stuntman that played them a lot of the time, but the actor did play both of them. Mm-hmm. Leads to a bit of a chase down into the tunnels. Fires are set, things are melting. They've also found Dalton's body. Nick tries to save him, not realizing he's already dead, and his wax head just comes straight off.
No, Nick. I really love Chad Michael Murray's reaction to that. It's almost like he's going to be sick.
Yeah,
yeah. It's really good. It's a great finale.
It's so over the top,
but it's earned.
That fire that is set then is ultimately going to lead to the end of the movie, which takes place in the House of Wax, with the House of Wax melting. There's a great moment where they run past, Carly finally sees Wade. Mm. He's dead at this point, absolutely.
I love that moment where the whole thing is on fire and it's sinking, and Wade just kind of slowly sinks at the piano. Oh,
it's like,
poor Wade.
Poor Wade, man.
Didn't deserve it.
This finale, it's an incredible part of the film. This is why I would say that the film is messy, because they're covered in wax and stuff like that. And this has led to a really bad fire on the set.
Yeah.
And apparently, Chad got injured at one point by a light fell on his head.
Oof, nearly. I think it nearly fell on his head or something.
And at one point he's filming a bit of a fight scene, and he realised like his skin was like bubbling because there was a bunch of fires that control fires, and they realised the fires were not controlled.
No.
And I think some of the wax had melted onto the fire retardant cover, and everything was set in fire.
Bloody dangerous.
Yeah, and it caused, I think 2 sound stages were destroyed, $7 million in damage. So the film had to be put on hold for weeks, some months, like months, while things had to be rebuilt. They said none of the actual footage of the fire was used in the film.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. And I think the special effects team were sued over this for damages.
Yeah.
But that did balloon the budget quite a bit.
Because everything had to be remade.
Everything had to be remade.
Yeah, all the wax figures. The
2 sound stages were destroyed.
Yeah. It does also look like it was genuinely hard conditions to work in as well, because you can see Chad Michael Murray and Alicia Cuthbert like trudging through the melting wax, and like the foot's getting caught in it, and it does look hard, but it's a great showdown.
Oh, it really is, and we end up in like a recreation of their parents' bedroom. She pushes like a wax crib of the two of them conjoined against the door. Vincent cuts through the door and like down through 2 of their heads.
Interesting as well, just, you were saying earlier, like the whole thing is like a motif of good twin versus bad twin, and obviously throughout the whole film, like, we're kind of going through this thing of Chad Michael Murray is like the bad boy twin and she's the good twin, but ultimately the final showdown is they both are the good twins versus the 2 bad twins.
Yeah.
I do like that.
I do like when the floor melts and like Bo's body, it does literally look like he descends into hell.
Yeah, and like they're on top of each other as well.
Yeah, because they do. She just tried to get to Vincent on a personal level.
Reason with him,
to reason, but it's
too far gone at this point.
Even if he is the good twin, he has still done horrific things.
Yeah, and there's no redemption that can be had really at this point for him.
No,
it's like a middle-aged man.
And he just kind of he falls down as well, and they both like land on each other, like conjoined again. It's amazing.
It's sensational.
There's a bit of digital work done showing like the melting house afterward. They were very particular about what effects they used. I've never quite seen anything like that since. But now we do have to talk about Paris Hilton's death.
I was just going to bring up Paris Hilton.
So her boyfriend's death is back at the campsite because they eventually answer the phone. They were getting all the messages off Carly, but they were too busy having sex, which is basically their whole character's thing.
Well, she's trying to tell her boyfriend, whose name for the life of me I still cannot remember, that she may be pregnant.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Like I suppose it's the film's way of really trying to make us care about Paige.
Yeah.
Like we somehow should be much more emotionally invested in her because she might be pregnant. Anyway, that's like a whole thing. So yeah, they're in the campsite. About to have sex. There's a whole scene where she shows off her new lingerie. Her boyfriend gets stabbed in the neck by Vincent, and Vincent then proceeds to chase Paris, all the way to where exactly?
It's an old sugar factory.
Right,
It used to be like the lifeblood of the town.
Yeah.
And I think it was a real sugar factory that they filmed it in. And let's just be real. In terms of like the chase and the death, it's perfectly fine. But it's not incredible.
No, it's not
What
really.
makes this scene remembered so much is purely because it's Paris Hilton in it.
Yeah.
And she wanted to do the whole thing in stilettos, but they said no.
Even Joel Silver was like, no, we're not doing that. Like, we draw the line at that. There's another like icky scene that really gets me is she's barefoot and she's running away, and then there's like a grated floor, and Vincent is underneath, and she's walking barefoot, and he shoves a knife up through one of the holes, and it kind of just like, it doesn't go through her Achilles all the way, but like it just slices through a bit of skin on the back, and it's just enough. Just enough to really get me every single time.
Yeah, I do think she does a good job.
It's a good chase scene. Like
scene.
I would have loved to have seen her in the Wax Museum, because Paris Hilton as it is never gets there.
The poster, as iconic as the poster is, it is a lie. She never gets waxed.
She never gets waxed. But it's a decent scene. Like what even is it? It's like a spear that he throws through her head.
Yeah.
It does it with such force that like it literally like knocks her all the way back.
And then he films her.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people think might be a reference to her tape.
I'm sure.
And she's been asked about it. She said the film was actually filmed before that.
I'm sure like a lot of people have also
read into it.
commented like, you know, the fact that she's killed by a phallic looking object and, you know,
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
I mean, most kills in horror tend to be with phallic looking objects.
Yeah. I will say, just lingering on Paris for a minute, because, you know, we mentioned the whole marketing campaign that the film did, and I do think it's a lot of fun. And I'm really happy that she was keen to get involved in it. Like, she was an active participant in it. But I do think there is also something to be said that, you know, we're going back to 2005. And this was a period where the media were not very kind to female celebrities.
No.
So
I mean,
this
look at Britney in this
I
time
was
period.
just going to say, like, this is just a few years before Britney, like the infamous shaved her head thing. And
Lindsay Lohan.
The press had Lindsay written down here as well. Like, they were not kind to women. So I do think it's cool that she owned it, but I do also think that it is unfortunately kind of tied into that whole, you know, like, let's take the piss out of these ladies just because we can and because of who they are and their reputation.
I think all it comes down to, again, her clearly knowing the market.
Yeah.
And knowing that, obviously, clearly the film didn't make as much money as they intended, but it did continue to propel her as a slayer. But you are absolutely right.
It's something like, again, I'm really happy that she did get involved, and like it kind of adds like the whole campiness of it, and good on her. But it is tied to this more like, you know, this wider vicious treatment that the media had for women.
I don't think it's got any better. No. To be perfectly honest.
It's almost like they're rooting for them to fail.
Yeah, because then it's something that
participating in it even as well.
Paris Hilton at the time, as much of I think a lot of her image and what she did was very planned out. The media wanted her to fail. They wanted her to crash because, you know, she's wealthy heiress
crash and burn. Yeah.
Wanted her to crash and burn, and she just didn't. She never did. She walked away at the right time, and so they never quite got that. The media never got that satisfying ending to Paris's story that they always wanted. And I'm not saying like she's some absolute genius. I reckon she had a bit of a good team around her, and she probably definitely did a few things that weren't planned, which just added to it in general. But looking at Paris Hilton through 2025 eyes, now you can see like this whole story is kind of laid out. It's kind of clever.
It is very clever, yeah. And again, like I'm really happy that she actively got involved in it, and you know, now like 20 years on, she looks back on it fondly. I am genuinely really happy about that.
I'm happy that people still talk to her about it.
Yeah, I know. Also, did Paris? Was it Paris that popularized the whole like Valley Girl persona?
No, I don't think so.
Had it been a thing already?
Yeah, it had been a thing.
Because I wonder if it was her and Nicole.
It definitely had been a thing.
The rich Valley Girl.
I think she kind of perfectly just fit that, or already fit that persona. And usually you do have a character like that in these types of films. You do. Like she, you know, her acting is absolutely fine. It's no worse than anyone else in this movie. It's no better than anyone else in this movie. No. She perfectly services the part she plays. Yeah, and she fulfills the promises of the marketing. Yeah. See Paris die, and we did. And you know what? We sure did. And it's memorable, but it's only memorable because of her. Yeah. I'd say Wade's death is way better. Yeah. Way better. Even to an extent, I'd say Dalton's is a better kill. I love a good decapitation, but because it's Paris Hilton. Yeah. In this moment is what has helped this scene live on for 20 years. Yeah. Definitely. And it's probably helped keep this film relevant. Yeah. After so long. Well, I mean, you said it's like you think it's your favourite Dark Castle movie. It is my favourite. I think on a technical point of view, like there's a really strong argument you could say like maybe technically it is their best. Certainly one of their best. And the directors went on to have it. What's the name of the director again? Jerome Collet-Serra. He had only done music videos leading up to this, which when you look back at like how a lot of films were edited there, they were kind of made to look like grungy music videos. Yeah, he stayed a friend of Dark Castle because he did Orphan a few years later, which maybe is their best film. Maybe there is an argument for that. That's probably the closest they get to an actual horror movie, like a sophisticated horror movie. It is a bit more. This is schlocky. Yeah, and this is a popcorn movie that will make you wince. Yeah, a bit, but it's not that deep. No.
But the director has gone on to do a lot of good stuff, because I think he also did Non-Stop, which was another Dark Castle film, not horror, but he did The Shallows, and very recently he did Woman in the Yard as
Which
well.
we enjoyed, yeah.
I think he's a very talented director.
Compared to a lot of films in the early 2000s, yeah, there's a lot of there's still a lot of greys, a lot of browns, a lot of dulled colours, but like with a lot of Dark Castle films, it has that style to it.
The set design, like, come on, like 13 ghosts, like that, the engineering of that house, ghost ship, you know, like the
ship, yeah,
the literal ship. I love Gothica. I love the moody atmosphere in the mental asylum, and then it's a literal fucking wax museum. It's like it's treat after treat.
They really
go
is.
all out, and I think we gave him a shout out in another video. But Graham Grace Walker is the production designer who worked on a lot of these Dark Castle movies. So fair play, my friend.
Yeah,
because it helps make these films so memorable.
Yeah, it's like, look, Dark Castle might not be as big as they were, but they are still making making movies.
They're still out there, yeah, and Joel Silver's still firmly at the helm, I believe, as well. Robert Downey Jr.'s wife was involved in Dark Castle for like 10 years before she came up with Team Downey with Robert. So yeah, it's like very talented people at the helm of them.
And they just wanted to make
genre movies,
fun horror movies, and that is what they have done.
Yeah.
At some point, we're going to talk about 13 Ghosts.
We will, yeah. We certainly will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I have seen that a couple of times now. You're probably right, Bobby. Orphan probably is their best movie, but I think this is their best Dark Castle movie.
Yeah,
like, something that has that feel of a dark. Because Orphan, it doesn't feel like a Dark Castle film.
No,
it's too sophisticated. For
again, it has and then you've got you've got Vera Farmiga, and you've got like these really prestigious people in it, like Pierce.
It was also produced by Leonardo DiCaprio, wasn't it?
It was produced by Leonardo DiCaprio, yeah. Oh, I can't remember the name of the actor that plays the dad. He's married to Maggie Gyllenhaal. But, like a high caliber cast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like big talent involved in it. Not quite House of Wax level. Like,
arguably, I'd say Orphan First Kill feels more like a Dark Castle film than Orphan.
Because it has that campiness
to it. And that style to it.
Yeah.
But this, for me, I don't think this will ever get uprooted as my favourite Dark Castle film now. Just because I just enjoy it. I know Scream Factory did a special edition a couple of years ago. It's been 20 years. Come on, give us a new one.
Yeah.
The only thing we have to set dress is candles.
Candles. Yeah.
Because wax.
I do have it on DVD.
Somewhere.
Not here.
Oh, and there's a final twist at the end that the guy that took them in, there was a third brother, literally adds nothing
Lester
to this movie.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
No, I don't know if like the insinuation is he's gonna carry on, but I don't know how he can because the whole thing is just busted wide open. So
yeah, I'm giving it about as much thought as the film did.
Yeah, but no, it's a lot of good fun. And it is truly a great film.
The end credit song is Helena by My Chemical Romance as well.
Yeah, which I don't think fits.
It doesn't fit, but it's a banger. It is a great song.
But I would definitely urge people, like, because of the anniversary, there's probably going to be a ton of like YouTube videos cropping up about House of Wax. Like, is it good? Is it bad? If you watched this movie years ago, kind of dismissed it, please revisit it. Give it another chance. It actually is good.
It actually is a lot of fun.
Yeah. It is. Give it the time of day.
If you ever see Jared Padalecki in person, tell him we're sorry for Wade.
Poor Wade.
So I'm going to throw this off to our channel members. As usual, you guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting us.
Yeah.
We greatly appreciate it.
We do. We really do.
Do you have any more notes on this one?
I've closed my book.
You've closed your book. That is notes done. Okay. To the broader community, who's seen this movie and what do you think of Paris Hilton's performance and the icon? What's the best death in this film?
Who's your favourite death, and what's also like your worst death scenario from any horror movie that you've seen? How would you not like to go? What would be your worst way to go?
Yes. So thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you when we see you.